You are listening to WOOP-LP, Cleveland, Tennessee. WOOP FM is a broadcasting service of the Traditional Music Resource Center, and we play America's original music.
Where'd the old town go? They moved it all over here in a shopping mall.
Not for $20,000.
Good morning and welcome to Old Town Cleveland here on WOOP FM 99.9, or you can go to the internet at www.woopfm.com. You can call us here at 614-5553. Morgan Denny, what if they don't live here in town?
Well, Ron, if they don't live here, they can add 423 to the beginning of 614-5553.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's technology.
I taught him that.
You did good.
Yeah. Morgan Denny, our intern from Bradley High School. Always glad to have
he
him
couldn't do
here.
that before he came in.
How many days before you graduate?
Less than 4 weeks at this point, I think. I can't get here soon enough.
But he's not counting. He's no. And I was to say, you remember those days when you graduated high school? I mean, do you remember?
No, not
I don't
really.
know. I'm sure Jeff remembered it or not. And Demi Moore, I was going to introduce her, but she left. Okay.
Go ahead and introduce her.
On June 3rd, folks, for you people who graduated in 1972 from Bradley High School.
That's
like
me.
John and I did. Their 45th class reunion will be held on June 3rd.
Years.
Wow.
And so if you interested in that, start looking on Facebook, and the class of 72 has a Facebook page, and you can find out where it will be located. It's going to be at the barn. At the my mind just went
Well, it'd
blank.
be easy to spot. There's 6 wheelchair ramps and
60, that's
47
Right.
disabled parking
Well,
spaces.
there's one of those. It'll look like a propane tank, but it's an oxygen tank truck will be there.
The community oxygen tank truck.
The car show is today, I believe. It starts probably about 10 o'clock.
Well, actually, they're already there. I ran to the library for a few minutes, and there's cars already sitting all around the square. They don't have the roads closed off yet, and technically, it should operate from 1 to 6. But if you're there at noon, you'll get to see all the cars, I'm sure.
We've already discussed here that you should go ahead and raise your arms and save your watch, because your boots aren't going to be enough for this show today. It's going to get a little deep.
Let me tell folks a couple announcements, Ron, before you guys get started.
All right.
First of all, Fence Post of Fireflies Spring Festival is going on today. It's at 197 New Hope Road, Southeast. It opens at 10 o'clock. And our good friend Joel Beaver will be performing there from 1 to 2 p.m. today. Also, the Tour of Homes, sponsored by Lee University and the Bradley Historical and Genealogy Society, has started this morning, and it will run, I believe the last tickets will be sold at 1 o'clock. It's only $5. You buy your ticket at 450 Centenary Avenue, and I think you get to see inside and outside of 4 or 5 houses. Lee University students have done all of the research, and they tell you about the architect and the people that live there, and it's a really good thing if you love stuff like that. Ron, we ate last week at the Rebel. How about telling everybody what's going on down at the Rebel?
Doing good, John, and had lunch there Thursday. They have a daily special, and you can still get the Lotta Burger. Still got the chili. Got the Lotta Burger plate, hot dog. They got it all down there.
They got it all. Go down and
good.
support them, another local business.
And gravy and biscuit in the mornings.
Yeah, nothing like Rebel gravy and biscuit. But anyway, here we go. We've got the members of Tennessee Tea with us, a band that played here locally for several years.
Through the 80s and the 90s, so if you ever heard a band play in a parking lot,
it was likely to
us.
be them. Yeah,
we were the parking lot band, and
35 years.
Of what?
Tennessee Tea.
Oh, that's a long
35 years.
And some of us were younger when we started this.
I was 6.
Yeah, you're the oldest, right?
Well, we're the same age right now. In a few months, I might be the oldest.
That's like John says he's older, that I'm older than him.
You are older than me. How old are you?
I'm 63.
Well, I'm 62.
Until when?
Do the math.
May 28th, and then
Well,
3 months don't count.
Well, talk to me
And
again
baby
after May
years.
28th.
Okay.
Right now, you're older than I am.
So you're going to be 63 May the 28th?
Maybe.
Yes.
There's not an option.
Well, yeah.
Tony, how old are you?
According to my doctor, I will be.
I'm 60.
And Jeff?
47.
47. You know, we were playing before he was walking.
Well,
you know it?
hit him with my cane.
Yeah, but he's getting old. I can see his daddy coming out in him now. Look at it. That's
I
CL.
want to mention a friend of yours, Miles Howard, had some health issues this week, and I understand he's still in the hospital. So I know you guys want to send a big shout out to Miles.
Yeah, good piano picker around town. We've known for years.
Keep him around for a while.
Well, guys, we played a little music, and I think Tennessee T is responsible for 8 albums now.
8.
And there's still plenty of them left. If you haven't got your copy yet.
Of 100 Proof Country, recorded in 1980.
I think there's a
82.
box of cassette tapes at our house.
Yeah, so
I'll give you a real good deal.
there is gardens being planted. Play this, and crows won't come around, or your neighbors, or a few
Now,
other things.
the first album that we ever recorded was in 82, called 100 Proof Country, and there was a song off that album that played for a couple of years, I believe, regularly at a racetrack in North Carolina.
Rockingham, North Carolina.
Rockingham played it before the races. It's called Hard Rock Tunes, which I think you and Terry wrote. Terry's got a little story about that, but it played for a couple of years down there.
Terry, tell us. Terry was when we first started. Terry and I sort of got together and sang and picked a little bit, and then Tony come along and sang pick, and then we actually went and played a comedy act down at the old Holiday Inn down on Saturday. We done a comedy act for the USJ Sets.
When was
down there.
this?
Long time ago.
In the early 80s,
Well,
wasn't it?
we were of the age to be in the JCs, and you age out at 35. So it's been 35 years ago or more.
Wow.
So that's how we got started, and we called ourselves Tennessee T, and the T stood for talent.
Wow.
No, T stood for Terry.
No, well, that's what Terry wanted to say, but it stood for talent. And Tony thought it stood for Tony.
Everybody's right.
I knew better.
But so that's how we sort of got beginning, and then we just started playing around together, and then we started, and I think one of the first places we played was either for Robert Lawson for Sheriff Rally or at the Primitive Settlement. Which one?
It was Lawson. Yeah.
So it's
No.
we
First we ever played was over at Deer Park.
Deer Park.
Some of us got memory.
That's about all I got left.
I just got the licks, though.
Thank you, Tony.
John thought you was
It's
bragging on
good
him.
to have fans.
When we wrote this NASCAR song, though, Ron and I had been to Nashville, not Nashville, we'd been to Jackson, Tennessee or Memphis to a JC, some type of JC function, and on the way back, he was driving, and he said, let's write a song. So we started trying to come up with something. Anyway, I remember that before we got to Nickajack Dam coming back, we were arguing. The song includes the NASCAR driver, Darrell Waltrip, and he was saying it was Waltrip, and I said, no, it's Darrell Waltrip. And we argued for probably 20 or 30 miles, and finally we just forgot about it, but that really comes out something that we did.
You know, all the big famous songwriters had arguments over their songs, so that just proved our point. We'll play a song.
That you argued or that you're famous?
If I haven't introduced everybody, over the years they were several. The band changed a little bit, but Jeff Cook started out as our equipment guy and sound guy. He moved equipment and carried that, and then our drummer left, and Jeff says, "I can play drums." Oh, really? And by darn, he couldn't. Jeff Cook was on drums. Did that for many years. John Cook
Turned out to be one of the best studio sessions drummers I've ever heard.
Yeah. Lounge. He wasn't real good in the lounge though, because he was a
Small
big,
venues, yeah.
He was a big,
he's a
loud,
big band
powerful
player.
drummer. Yeah,
I didn't understand that. Can you play quieter?
He couldn't do that.
Play drums
No.
Yeah, there's a volume button on your drum.
Yeah, I remember one
You've
morning
never
we
seen
set
that.
up and played for a breakfast somewhere, and I thought, oh, God, I hope nobody's
We played-
hungover.
We played for a Robert Lawson breakfast,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
political
we did.
rally, and everybody says, "A political rally we're going to play in the morning?" Yeah, it was a huge hit, and I'm going. Of course, we had 3 square inches to set up everything. John Cook, who joined the band, was the first guy, I believe.
Around 84.
Gary Cullen's come before you did,
Right.
I believe. And Gary played for us for a while. Gary's passed on now. And then John came in and started playing it, and he didn't even have a guitar then. I know John growing up through high school, and he was always this unbelievable rock and roll picker. I mean, he could just play and everything, and he had never played country. So he bought a Silvertone guitar in the pawn shop and some little amplifier and come on and played that. And that Silvertone was just perfect for country music, though. And so John started learning to play country, and we sort of got a little heavier sound when John was there because he'd rip into a few there.
Anytime I could.
Tony Sissom was our first piano player, and I met Tony through the hard way, through marriage. I didn't marry him.
Thank God.
I want to point that out. He married my little sister, and he started playing piano for us. And Terry, like I say, Terry and I was a guitar player, and was more the country guy than all of us. I've been a rock and roll picker back with Chain and a couple other bands, and so I started learning to play country. And so Terry sort of taught that, and Terry had several songs he had written that were pretty darn good. And then my first song I ever wrote, country song. Do you remember yours, John?
Yeah,
Mine was "So Long to My Last Beer."
that's country.
That was country.
Don't say goodbye.
Don't say goodbye. That's right. It was yours, Terry. Now
My feelings lie.
my feelings like that was a good song.
I think we've got that on the lineup to play this morning, actually. Now, the original group, the very first group was, as I recall, was you, Terry, Tony, Dennis Bennett, and Gary Collins, right?
Gary came a little later, and we had some guy sung with us when we done that comedy act down there. I can't remember, it was Stallings, I can't remember his name now, but that was just that one night, and then he never did sing with us again. So, but it was Terry and Tony and I, and then Dennis, and then Gary, and then when Gary left, you came, and then we played for many years with that combination. And then after Terry and Tony left, we got Rusty Davis played piano. We had another guy, Gardner. I can't think of his name. Played piano. He's passed away now. And then we had Rusty came in, and then never did have another guitar player. And we had Kevin Woody play drums for us for a while. Then he's gone. Then Jeff took over. And so that last band was Jeff, John, Rusty, and I.
So we did it for about 14 years.
That particular group. So, yeah, I would like to play again if someone else would carry the equipment.
Do I have to stand up the whole time?
Yeah, stand up all the time and carry the equipment.
Matter of fact, does anybody remember Joe Walker? Carried equipment for us, big old stocky country old boy.
Oh, God, I
Always
remember
came up
that.
to the piano, wanted to know if we had any more liquor left.
I remember T. Bandy. He followed us around for a
Oh,
long
yeah,
time.
T. Bandy.
Sam Myers. He helped us.
Sammy?
Haul,
Yeah, and
haul
Chief.
stuff.
Chief.
Help us.
Who
Andy
was our
Allen.
number one fan? She kept saying for years.
Our number one fan for years. Who was that?
Ruth Cartwright.
Ruth Cartwright, yeah. Ruth always.
Remember Andy Allen traveled
Andy
with
Allen.
us
Andy
a lot.
Allen came, and Chief. What was Chief's real name?
Randy King.
Randy King.
Randy King.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Ricky Johnson helped
Ricky
us. Fly.
Johnson
I think he
helped
went
us
with
out.
us down to Memphis and
Yeah.
ran the sound for a show we did down there.
that was that's the last four there, and probably the biggest show we ever played for. We played for the USJC's national convention down there, and I forgot how many thousand people was at the show, and all of them were drunk, dancing on the tables, and we had a Rocky Top singing contest that lasted an hour and a half, I believe.
That was a
Everybody
mistake.
in the building got on stage with us, and that was an interesting party, and they stole all of our T-shirts that night. So
And we had
never sold any, so we were glad
we
to
had
get rid of
100
them.
T-shirts printed up, took down to sell, had them in boxes behind the stage, and by the time we finished the show and got ready to break them open and sell them, empty boxes. The staff
Do you remember the time
had
that
taken we're big down there somewhere. There's 100 people wearing our T-shirts.
they may have used it for desk cloths?
Wash the cars.
Do you remember the big party we played for at the Cleveland Country Club where
Oh,
we
yeah.
owed them after we left?
I don't know, how did that work? You know?
Bar tabs, and chicken wings.
Well, like in the Blues Brothers says, I thought they were free. They just kept bringing them, you know.
Of course, that was the thing. You know, back in the day, you'd get a good job, and it might be a fairly good paying one, and you know, the next thing you had is a band meeting. Said, "Well, guys, we need all matching shirts for this show, and we ought to get a couple new mics." And you wound up spending about $300 or $400 more than you made. So,
Well, that was always true,
yeah,
you know. And Tony bought this piano. You know, now today you can buy these pianos.
I
and they'll
hated
do
that. That piano
anything.
sounded great, but I hated
It
carrying
would do anything you want. You do. You could buy it for. Tony bought a CP70 Yamaha portable baby grand.
You still got it, don't you?
It's in my basement.
It's too heavy to move.
I can't move it. That's right. I ain't got no. I got to have somebody. It is the heaviest thing. I mean, it has actual strings in it, and it. Like I said, I couldn't move it anymore. I mean, it just
Y'all said
impossible.
you wanted something that sounded good. You didn't say
Oh,
you
it
didn't want anything
sounded
that's
great.
heavy.
It sounded like a piano, but and then he bought this thing was
Because it
a.
was a piano.
It was a. What would they call that? Sound like a string machine. What was it?
Harp string synthesizer.
Harp. Yeah, and it was heavy. I'm going.
Well, everything then was made of wood,
Well,
heavy wood.
I had played in a band Chain years ago, and Wayne Wilhelm, who lives here in town, he bought a Hammond C3, not a B3. The B3 had wood didn't go all the way to the ground; it had legs. The C3 had wood all the way down. We used to carry that around, and the two Leslie cabinets. And so you are an improvement, Tony, and now you can just put it underneath your arm and fold it up. Almost some of them, it's unbelievable. You got one on your about.
Yeah.
So, and then our amps got heavier. And who built those cases for those amps?
That was Terry did.
I was involved in that, but I think some of you guys helped me. I don't remember exactly.
It wasn't me, but you put the worst handles on a case I'd ever seen. They had them little wire
It's the only
handles.
money you'd give us. You was our treasurer, if you
They
recall, and you said,
Talking about, I would have gave you $100 if you had changed them out.
well, if you told us, we would have.
Those were the worst handles. And John,
They were small.
and after you guys left, we still had that for a long time. I finally
I
said,
still got mine.
Long time.
we, and
They lasted, didn't they, Terry?
you know,
Sure did. They were
you and
good.
John bought matching amplifiers. I think you had matching underwear and boots, and
I never wore underwear.
And I didn't like shoes.
all right.
You said we recorded 8 albums. What? Do you have a list of those in years? You have a discography, as they call it?
Since you handed me this list to read, oh, that's the song that you got to play here in a minute. Oh, well, our first album was 100 Proof Country, recorded at the Sounding Board in Easley, South Carolina. We all got in a Winnebago and drove down there and thought we were going to be rich when we come back. We just didn't have much money when we came back.
We had fun, though.
Yeah, and
I remember sitting in the hotel room eating
That was
barbecue chips, M&Ms, and Budweiser.
it's one of our big sellers. I think we sold 78 of those, somewhere around there. And then Later on, we did a live in '85, and that was in guess what year?
1986.
1985. Down by the Lake, 1987. Tennessee Tea Live, we recorded it when we played with the Forster Sisters, 1987, same year. We still have copies of all these if you'd like them. Then we done the Tupperware tour, and there's a long story behind that.
Rusty.
Have you ever played?
Well, let me.
We played for the Tupperware circuit.
Let me say
for a
one
while.
thing about that. Rusty lined that job up.
Yes.
We didn't want to do it, but he said it'll be fun. It's a Tupperware party for a regional distributor, and it's going to be a pool party at her house. Well, we had more people there and made more money, actually made a profit playing for that Tupperware party. These people, especially that regional gal, she was making a load of money. I think they tipped us $100 to play.
Well, they wanted
longer.
to play another. They wanted to play another hour and then give us a tip. So we're going that other hour.
We
cost
made money on the
$25.
Tupperware tour.
We made $25 that extra hour.
Yeah.
Then we actually recorded a live album at the Tupperware party. So it's called the Tupperware tour.
It's documented.
Then we had TNT. Then we had Honky Tonky Tea. And recently, John and I, on our farewell song, we called ourselves Fat Cats. I don't know why.
It fits.
Yeah. And we wrote 12 new songs and put them on there. These were all original songs, except the Tupperware tour and the Tennessee Tea Live. We played some cover tunes.
Yeah, we had a few
there.
cover tunes in there.
And
man, I over the years, I guess between us all, we've written 100 songs or better, easily.
well, we got some songs that we won't play from Tennessee Tea. And I don't know if I formally introduced everybody. Jeff Cook, John Cook, Tony Sissom, Terry Hunt,
Ron Moore.
Ron Moore. And we were known as Tennessee Tea, legends in our
Do you know
own
where
right.
that name came about?
I thought, wow, Alabama was out right then.
Alabama was out, but we was sitting before we did the JC thing, the JCET party, and we were at your mother's house, which that's the house you own now.
Uh-huh.
We were there and was trying to come up with a name, and we was all three of us right here, I think, was really trying to come up with a good song. We come up with everything. Debbie walked up to the door and she said, "Why not call it Tennessee Tea?" That sounds pretty good. Debbie's the one that actually gave us the name.
Well,
I don't know what you meant.
Maybe I'm not the oldest because I have the best memory. Maybe you guys are fibbing about your age or something, maybe.
Well, I lived long and put up wet. That's my problem.
I'd kind of like to hear one of those songs off that first album.
The very first album. Play cut number 1 off that. Track 1. It's called 100 Proof Country, and that was the name of the album.
Now play me some down home country music. Let those guitars sing out loud. I love to hear a song about Dixie and dream of my homeland in the South. Now play me a total pass song, one that'll make me jump and shout. We're country born and bred, gone to our head, 'cause we're 100 proof country and that's what we all about. We got country in our heart that we can't control. We got rhythm in our beat. We got country in our soul. There's country in our veins. It makes me wanna shout. 'Cause we're 100 proof country and that's what we're all about. play me some down home country
Sing
music
it, Terry.
and let those guitars sing out loud. I love to hear a song about Dixie and dream of my homeland in the South. Now play me a toe-tap and fast song, one that'll make me jump and shout. We're country born and bred, gone to our head, 'cause we're 100 proof country and that's what we're all about.
Who the heck was that guitar
Wow,
picker?
that was a good. You know, we were talking about we recorded after we recorded the album, we played that at the Cleveland Mall on top of the fountain. They used to put a stage on top of the fountain, and we played that. And the video we out there sounds just like the original recording. It was pretty darn good. We played it live, so
They can see that video on YouTube.
That's right. We had a caller.
YouTube,
You can call us back, caller, now. Our number here is 614-5553. Morgan, what's that area code?
The area code is 423. Add that to the beginning of 614-5553.
At the beginning, that's how that works.
And now you're live on Old Town Cleveland, caller.
Hey, Chuck. Ron, you got to give old Fro run for his money.
Well, we were trying.
I'm listening.
Who's this?
True man.
Who?
Yeah.
So what's going on?
It's Ron, just listen to you guys.
Well, we love to hear you there. I mean, did you used to listen to us when we were younger?
Repeat that line, I didn't hear you.
Did you used to listen to Tennessee Tea when we were all younger?
No, I'm 66. No, I'm 68 now.
Oh, you're an old man compared to all of us.
Right.
You got us by 4 years at least.
Right, we're still walking. We're still above ground, brother.
That's right. That's right.
Go on, Ron.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, folks, if you ever listened to Tennessee Tea or didn't listen to Tennessee, call either way there. We played a lot at the... We got another one?
If you happen to be one of
Golly,
the
we're
thousands
live on
that
Old
didn't
Town
buy our
Cleveland.
albums.
Good morning, John and Ron and Deb and whoever's there.
Hello.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Ron. How's it going?
Good, very good.
I needed something to get my foot stomping, and after a song is played, I didn't know you guys could sing that good.
Apparently, thousands of other people don't either because we still got some of the albums.
How about passing the word around, would you please?
That was our very first album we ever recorded, and that was the title cut.
I always knew that John could sing, but I tell you what, that was a good song right there.
That was Terry Hunt singing the lead on that.
Who was it?
Terry Hunt.
Say hi, Terry.
Hey, how you doing?
I really like that song because it really got my foot stomping this morning.
Yeah. When I wrote that song, actually, when I wrote the song, we come to practice right after that. Then I actually wrote it to be a slow song. And Ron and John sat there and said, no, we've got to have a fast song. We've got to have a fast song. So John started out with some type of a wild rendition of rhythm, whatever.
We stepped it up just a little bit.
We stepped it up a whole lot. We appreciate you like that song, though. Really do. So thank you very much.
This ain't the same Tony Chisholm that works for Kyle Motors in it, are we, is it?
It sure is.
He didn't sell you a bad car.
I didn't say you a bad car, did I?
I actually talked to him here about several months ago, and I've known Tony for years when he used to be down here on, used to be down on right down there, right up from Bradley High School there.
Yeah, from Kyle Dodge down there.
Yeah. Well, guys, I just want to say I did like that song, and but like I say, though, I didn't know you could sing that good, but I do now.
Well, we're going to play you another one here in just a minute. How's that?
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Tell us the number in your best British accent here.
Oh dear, here we go again. Anyway, you can call us here. It's 614-5553. You're getting a kick out of that, aren't you? Anyway, add 423 to the beginning of 614-5553 if you're out of the area. I think I'm making them all laugh.
I kind of like it. That gives us just a tad of class, not a lot.
That would be it. That was sort of our London trip, tour. We picked that up. You want to play a live? Is this the next song?
I thought that
Wait
was
a minute.
Loudon we played in.
Oh, this is Terry Hunt's very first song he ever wrote, number 2. And we're going to play My Feelings Lied. And this is off our first album also.
I've seen this world over, many places I have been. I've seen people who lost their love, crying till their hearts mend. But it's over, my love for you is at its end. Oh well, next time I'll know better, because my heart won't mend. My feelings lied, they said she loved me like no one ever would. They said she cared for me like no one ever could. Where do I go now? What will I do? What haven't I tried? Oh well, next time I'll know better, because my feelings lie. It all started like a cold winter breeze. I was happy because I felt that she loved me. But I was wrong in my feelings, I was wrong with my pride. Oh well, next time I'll know better, because my feelings lie. My feelings lie, they said she loved me like no one ever would. They said she cared for me like no one ever could. Where do I go now? What will I do? What haven't I tried? Oh well, next time I'll know better, because my feelings lie. Oh well, next time I'll know better, because my feelings lie. Boy, I'm glad that's up.
That was Terry Hunt and our his first song ever, Rit. There, now, guys, I was going to ask each of you, what was your favorite show or the craziest thing ever happened to you playing? And Jeff, since you've been so loud today, what was your favorite show of all time?
Well, actually, a couple of them, I guess.
Get a little closer to the microphone.
The show with Forster Sisters at Bradley High School. That was
a good show.
That was a good show. Good crowd, lively crowd,
Right.
in Washington D.C.
What's the craziest thing ever happened to you?
Well, I was trying to remember which show that one of the drumsticks slipped out of my hand, bounced off the front tom, and hit you in the back of the head.
I think,
But I didn't miss a beat. I just picked up another and kept
I
going.
think that was up
Ron
here.
missed a couple of minutes
Yeah.
after he hit him.
I think we were playing at the at the old mall up here. I'm pretty remember you hit me in the back of the head, and it was the hottest time we ever played because we all used to wear cowboy boots, and my boots were full of water. And somebody had handed you a bottle of water, and you drink it down, and then your boots would fill up. No, no, that wasn't a bathroom.
Wait a minute, Jeff, tell or somebody tell the story about when you were going to Atlanta and the trailer door came up.
Who I don't know who's playing. We were going down there, and T. Bandy was going with us, and T was sort of our equipment guy, and we had this little trailer. Was that your trailer, Tony? It was a little bitty trailer, and we kept having trouble with the back door, and we're riding along behind them. There was 2 cars of us, and we were playing at the Omni in Atlanta or something,
Yeah.
for some group or something. Because I remember it was hard to get Jeff and what was the other kid? And because they wanted to ride the escalators. They were going up and down the escalators. We're trying to set up the show, and they're going, wow, look at this,
Was that the same show we had to take all the equipment up and down the elevator?
Yeah.
To
So,
get to where y'all were playing.
Yeah.
so we're going along. Jeff's up in the front vehicle, and the back door of the trailer opens in front of us. There's all of our equipment just hanging. And so we're trying to pull up beside of them, and we pull up beside there, and Jeff's over there, and we're going, the trailer door's open. And Jeff goes, hi, the trailer door's open. He goes, then finally he goes, the trailer door's open. And then you could hear him turn around to the driver, the trailer door's open. And there's fancy curving and swerving, and we got off the side of the road, and we duct taped the trailer shut.
Taped it all the way around.
So, what was your best show?
My favorite was the National JCs because we were told there'd be maybe about 1,000 people there, and when we walked out on stage and they announced this out, there was 3,000 at the least, and these people were ready to go.
They were primed.
Yeah,
They were drunk.
They were, these people were primed. I mean, I tell you what, we did a good show. Had all of our T-shirts stolen, but sound was good. You know, it's one of those shows where everything just clicked, just went right, and it's just fun all the way around.
What's the craziest thing ever happened to you?
Tearing down the overhang at the Memphis airport.
Yes.
That was
Yeah,
the same show.
And it wasn't even our fault. Yeah, the same show. We had the old Tennessee T truck, and we had Jeff was in Florida, and we actually had to. They paid to fly him in to do the show, and then fly him
Never
back out.
flew before, so I got to fly from Florida to Atlanta, Atlanta to Memphis, Memphis back to Atlanta, Atlanta back to
Yeah, and a
Florida.
tornado touched down
Never
as
flew
he
before.
was landing, so just to make it. But after we picked him up, we were leaving the airport, and there were 2 lanes you could go out. One took you right through the security booth, and the other took you around it. And the security guy there waved me through, and I said no. And I started to pull over on the left because I knew that truck wouldn't make it under the overhang. Guy motioned me on. I said no, and then he threatened me hard in there and said, "Pull it through here, or I'm going to ticket you."
Okay.
And I said, "Fine." So I pulled it on through, and we knocked the whole corner of his thing down, punched a hole in the top of the truck, and then we sat there and waited for the police. When they got there, he said, "Why in the heck did you try to pull this truck?" And I said, "Ask that guy right there with the uniform on. He told us to do it." And got the duct tape back out, taped the hole up because it was raining. We were just fine.
Carried a lot of duct tapes.
A lot of duct tape.
That may be why we never made
Everywhere
any
we
money.
went.
Just duct tape.
It could
All
be.
the money was spent on duct tape.
All right. What about you there, Tony?
I guess it's when we played Cleveland State with Joe T.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
When we first tried the fog machine.
I do remember that.
A lot of fog.
That fog machine.
A lot of fog.
That's right.
I don't remember if that was my fault or not.
A lot of
I'm not
fog.
going to claim it.
A lot of fog, though.
Oh, Lord.
That was for the Passage for Violence
Yeah, it sure was. That was
concert.
good.
Had
yeah.
Joe T. Had what was the Haney girl's name that was so good? Dolores Haney. And I think we had that little 11-year-old banjo picker. I can't remember his name either.
Michael Walker.
There you go.
Michael,
You're hitting on all three cylinders, buddy.
and I wasn't even paying any attention to
I
it.
remember that kid. He was proud of his play.
That's what I need to do. Stop paying attention. I can remember.
That's the ticket.
Terry, what about you? What's your?
Mine will be a toss-up between Cleveland State and playing for the comedy show that you talked about when we first started. I mean, that was the show down at Holiday Inn South at the time.
Yeah, we did some what they call blue humor too,
We did.
and
We did.
it was a big hit, and so.
Oh, y'all didn't tell me you didn't do Swing Low.
Oh yes, yeah, we done Swing Low,
We won't even
We
talk
did.
about that on
the pork
there.
chop song, and
We did Linda on My Mind that John, not John, Ron, he just had to ask all Lindas to come up on stage around me while I sang this song.
and bless their hearts.
There was one Linda, she was tall, bigger around than she was tall, and she sat there and made a big old Google eyes at me the whole time, and the crowd just went crazy. It was a really fun time down there at that.
Well, let me tell you, my favorite show was probably when we played it at the Washington Monument. It was a big show, and I enjoyed all the males who liked Rusty, our piano player. They sort of gathered right in front of the stage around him, and they thought he was a good piano player. I mean, we'll say what I was about to say.
We'll leave it at that.
But I think the craziest thing ever happened is John and I went fishing one morning, and on the way back, I said, John, pull my boat up I'll back the trailer. And he said, well, I've never done that before. I said, well, just stay out there in the bay and just come up get it straight up towards the trailer, and as you get there, turn the power, I'll grab it and hook it up. Well, John goes out in there and he's doing donuts backwards. And every time he cuts it deep,
It's
the
fun.
water went over the back. And as I got the trailer back there and walked out back down there, the boat stood straight up in the air. John's still sitting in the seat holding on, and it fell over backwards. Bam! It hit that water. I said, he's done sunk my bass boat. And then I stood there a minute, and I said,
Well, maybe.
well, I wonder where John is. So I jumped, I ran in there, and I swam out, and John come up out of the boat. He had his head stuck in the steering wheel, and there was an air pocket. Finally, he come out, and he looked like a breech whale. He went up in the air, and he fell over, and he said, I'm sinking. I says, he had on his life vest and his jump boots on from the sheriff's department.
Come in.
I said, grab that 15-foot boat floating by you and hold on to it. So I go out there, and I swim out there, swim back, pulling the boat and John. And
Wow.
out there, and these two guys had watched us. Anyway, but the reason I tell you that, we had to play a show that night. John was white as that shirt there. And that night, we're sitting there playing, and every few minutes he says, I almost died today. and it was funny.
Well, that's enough. After we got the boat out and left, it wasn't 15 minutes. Ron said, you want to stop and get a ham
And
sandwich?
one-
I said, hell no, I almost died today.
One other quick story. We played at Polk County for some big political rally, and the Polk County Courthouse don't have a lot of power. We had a light show. We had everything.
No, that was just a...
And as they introduced us, and somebody up there and said, and welcome Tennessee Tea. And John got up there, and his toe caught the very top step, and he rolled across the stage and fell about 7 times trying to get up. And we got up, and Jeff sat down, drums went 1, 2, 3, 4. And we started playing. He going, I'm dying. And he's supposed to sing the first song. But we're going to play a song right now. Then we got a friend. The phone is dead? All right. We're going to call him. We're going to go ahead and play the song. It's called Charlotte's in Caroline, written by Rusty Davis. And when we come back on, Rusty's going to be on the phone with us.
just a young man when I said I couldn't stay. And there were tears in her eyes as that Greyhound drove away. But I was young and I was strong. There were things to pursue. I never thought after all these years she would still be true. But Charlotte's still in Carolina, waiting there for me. And I guess you'll always be a place to lay my weary head when I'm running out of dreams. Charlotte's still in Carolina, waiting there for me. I guess it's time to pack it up and finally go back home. 'Cause no one here in Nashville wants to hear my song. When I cross those Smoky Mountains, what a sight I'll see. Charlotte's still in Carolina, waiting there for me. Charlotte's still in Carolina, waiting there for me. And I guess you'll always be a place to lay my weary head when I'm running out of dreams. Charlotte's still in Carolina, waiting there for me. Yes, my Charlotte's still in Carolina, waiting there for me.
And that's Rusty Davis. And is this Rusty Davis on the telephone? Is this Rusty?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, Rusty?
Let me make sure I turn my computer down there. Oh, man, I'm just enjoying sitting here listening to all the old stories about the band.
Well, what's your favorite show of all time?
Actually, a couple of them. As Jeff mentioned, the Forrester Sister show I thought was really good because we really rehearsed and practiced, and I felt like that was one of our best sets where we just didn't miss a note. Everything was flawless. We got to use a lot of their equipment and kind of felt like we were doing a professional show there, you know. But the JC's convention over in Memphis was a lot of fun, too. And one more that I really enjoyed was we got to play that music festival up in Washington, D.C. at the Washington Mall, and that was a neat experience.
Yeah, you lost some T-shirts. What kind were they?
Let's see, there was a Gucci shirt and something else.
Hard Rock
Hard
Cafe.
Rock Cafe, and I don't remember the
You were
third.
talking about crazy things that happened at some of our shows.
Uh-huh.
One thing that really stood out to me at that show in Washington, I was playing the piano and we were doing a set, and I noticed this lady dancing in the audience right in front of the stage. And she was really getting down, having a good time. And I just kept seeing her out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, well, she's a fairly attractive lady. Well, we kept playing, and the more I got to looking, it wasn't a woman. But it was somebody dressed up as a woman.
No. I think finally somebody from that group come up and was standing right behind you, leaning on you, and Rusty said, security.
He sat
Security.
He sat down on the stool right next to Rusty for a few minutes. I looked over and thought, holy hell.
Rusty and I used to.
A fan.
Rusty and I gambled at every show we ever played. Because John,
That's illegal, isn't it?
there's one song John never got right when we played it live.
Whoa.
Never,
whoa.
never.
No, whoa.
What was the song, Rusty?
Not never.
Hey,
There were several times I got that right.
Tony and Terry will appreciate this. So the week I joined the band, I never had played a live show, never had played with a band, and we only got to rehearse one time. And John kept saying, okay, we're going to open the show Saturday night with Modern Day Romance by Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I said, okay. So we practiced that song. I practiced it at home. Saturday evening came, we got out on stage, and I was ready to do Modern Day Romance. And John turned around, looked at us, and he goes, here we go, guys, Modern Day Romance, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. He hits the first note, and it's the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, but it's Partners, Brothers, and Friends.
I like that song, too.
So don't worry about it.
But the song called "Shot Full of Love." John had this guitar part, and Rusty and I would bet on whether he was going to make it through it or not. And as soon as I'd say we're going to play "Shot Full of Love," and he'd look at me with this mean look, and he'd walk back to the amp and he'd start going because we would practice it. He could play it perfect, so we'd pull our dollars out and we'd lay them over on Rusty's piano, and he'd go. And one night he went down, and he just sang the rest of it.
I did. I mouthed the rest. It was an extremely difficult lead. What I should have never done was attempted to duplicate it. I should have put my own spin on it. But you guys sitting there waving dollar bills in my face kind of got me a little anxious, and then I'd start thinking about it. But I'm telling you, at least 3 out of 10 times, I got the doggone thing perfect on stage. 3 out of 10.
And we probably played it 200 times, so that means having.
You know how people always say, well, I didn't do that right, and then you always say, well, nobody probably noticed. I guarantee you when I did that song wrong, everybody noticed. You didn't have to be a musician to know that wasn't right.
Well, I remember we also played at 10 Mile one time, and we were on a flatbed truck, and John and I were on one side of the stage, and Rusty's on the others, and John and I got happy. We were jumping up and down, and we'd see Rusty bounce up about 2 foot in the air every time we jumped. Rusty, you wrote that song, Charlotte and Carolina. How'd you write that one?
Pen and paper.
Huh?
There's not really a compelling story to it. I think I had traveled over to North Carolina and was going through Charlotte and was on my way back home. And when you spend a lot of time in the car, you let your imagination work. And I don't know, I just kind of started coming up with the idea of it and worked on it. And that was the thing I always enjoyed about playing with you guys. You know, we would come in on Thursday night for rehearsing or recording, whatever. And you would come in with an idea for a song, and you weren't really sure how it was going to play out, but, you know, I'd play a verse or two for you guys, and then we would all just kind of collaborate on it, and Jeff would find the great drum licks, John always found the great guitar licks, you guys were so good at arranging, and, you just come in with an idea, and by the time you left that night, you had a real song, and that was just, one of the neatest things, but, that's just kind of how I came up with that one, but I always liked it. It was kind of one of my favorites. So.
It was one of my favorites, too. I always
song,
enjoyed working in the studio and collaborating and working on the songs. I didn't get to do that much of it on 100 Proof Country because I think when we went to record that album between Terry and Ron, they had most of the material written. I think I collaborated a little bit on 100 Proof Country, maybe, and through the Carl Perkins licks in on Hard Rock Tunes. But those nights and weekends at the studio recording, especially when Ron bring in a big old pot of homemade chili.
Yes. Yeah, that was the fun thing about the band. I enjoyed doing live shows, and we got to do plenty of those, but I really enjoyed coming in and working together in the studio, and I really feel like, I progressed as a musician tremendously working with you guys. You guys were great mentors, both musically and personally. And, of course, we spent 14 years playing together, and you really get to know each other well as musicians. And I just felt like, especially those last last couple of albums we did. You know, we just really had a,
You know, that word mentor means we're old.
yeah.
You were older.
I was older, yeah.
Hey, and Rusty's going to be coming into town sometime in July, and we're hoping to get all of us together and do a little bit of picking.
We've done a TV show for a year or so called
2 years.
Me and Tennessee Tea, and I showed my kids some tapes of that not too long ago, and they laughed at us. And they said, Rusty's got on Father Knows Best sweaters.
Yeah. And a mullet.
We had some wild, recording a TV show was pretty interesting.
Intelligence is lost on the youth.
And John and I actually got recognized in Saudi Daisy one time being from that TV show.
That was a bondsman.
Oh, yeah.
I never realized.
And I was the wrong John Cook he was looking for.
Do what, Rusty?
I said I never realized how hard it was to lip sync.
Oh,
We
yeah.
always lip sync the music.
Whoa.
That was all live, wasn't it?
Whoa, yeah. Nobody knows the lip syncing thing.
It's out now.
The secret's out now.
But, yeah, we... and, of course, we've talked about the Tupperware tour. I don't know how long you've been listening, but your grand... that was a show you set up for us.
It was. Yeah, that was a friend of my mom's. And, you know, I never told you guys this, but I was working really hard to get us on the Longaberger basket circuit. If we could have done that, we would have had it.
Whole other source of income.
If we could have done some Amway parties, we'd made it then, wouldn't we?
We'd been cooking.
That's right.
Well, man, I hope you get to come in July and we set up and do some playing. And may just switch the equipment on and record it. And Terry and I were talking the other day. We get together and record some gospel stuff with Terry. I don't know if you ever met Terry Hunt and Tony Sism of the original Tennessee Tea, have you?
You know, I never met Terry. I did meet Tony a couple of times, but I always thought Terry had a great voice and just a really good country music voice. And yeah, I'd love to work with him. And yeah, I've met Tony a few times. But yeah, hopefully when I come in, maybe we can spend some time together and
That'd be great. That would be great.
do a little picking. Jeff, you look great.
Thank you, Rusty.
Oh, God, don't
you
tell
sound
him
great.
that.
Hey, we were talking about that D.C. show. I wanted to throw something in there. If I remember correctly, we found out the hard way. There's no restrooms, gas stations in D.C.
That's right. Yes.
And we learned, don't pull into the White House and ask for directions.
I thought we were going to get shot there. I don't know whose idea that was. Of course, Andy was driving the van. He should have known better.
Well, wait a minute. And Jeff's comment, we got pulled into D.C., and Jeff said, what's that tall, skinny building there in the middle?
That's what we're playing, buddy.
Well, we were in education. And what was old guy?
Jeff's next big famous thing was, I ain't seen a crystal nowhere.
Nothing in D.C.
All right, Rusty, we want to ask you one more question here. You remember the days Jeff would come in, he'd get off work, come in, and he would say, hey, let's get a pizza or something, I'm hungry. You know what that meant, don't you? He didn't have any money.
Who's paying?
Who's paying? And then if he had money, he'd come in with 2 double cheeseburgers and fries and not
Nothing
for us, for him. And then one day he come in and said, Rusty, I don't think you got there. He says, hey, I'm going to buy supper tonight. Let's go. And John and I just ate 3 hot dogs each. But Jeff is buying. We're going. We went to Monterey and we ate. We got up to the counter and Jeff said, darn, I left my billfold in the truck. So John and I ended up paying for dinner anyway.
Either. I was so stuffed I was ready to barf.
Who's buying lunch today, by the way?
Jeff.
Damn.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
When we were in D.C. and we went out to eat one night, and they brought the check, and it was $100. And Jeff goes, good night, the check's $100. And you go, well, there's 14 of them.
I could eat at McDonald's for 3 months.
Little brother was very young at the time.
Well, guys, we had some great times. I've really enjoyed listening to all the stories, and I'm going to keep watching.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
And you're listening to WOOPLP.
Hold on a second here.
Tennessee. Whoop FM is a broadcasting service of.
It turns 11 o'clock. My computer goes on automatically there. We look forward to seeing you when you come back in.
Okay, guys.
All right. And how's you're in Colorado now, right?
Yes, we moved. We moved to Nashville in 2000, and we lived there for 16 years. And then we moved out to Colorado a little bit over a year ago. We were just ready for a major change. We had been out to the area several times and just fell in love with it, and just thought we wanted to come out here and enjoy the Rocky Mountains. And so we live just outside of Denver, and so yeah, we're enjoying it.
Have you learned to breathe out there yet?
I'm sorry.
Have you learned how to breathe out there yet?
Yeah. I think I'm finally acclimated to the altitude. So, but it takes a little time. So, I know I ran into you a couple of times at Logan's, maybe you and Debbie.
Yeah.
When I was in visiting my mom, I hadn't seen John in a good while. But,
Terry's got a question here for you. Terry's got a question.
What does acclimated mean?
He used some big words.
No, Rusty, we've never met, but I've looked forward to, hopefully I can meet you in July and do a little picking together. Looking forward to it.
I would love to. But being acclimated means you can drink beer at 6,000 feet.
All right. I want some of that. I thought they drunk Cures.
All right, guys.
Jeff said I'm on my way.
I'll see you.
We'll see Rusty. Bye-bye.
See you, Rusty.
See ya.
Hey, folks, it's time for our mid-morning break here. We always play a song called Gone Home. We dedicate that to all our friends and neighbors that lost their lives in the last week. And so we'll go out to all those people. If you have family members, this song written by Jumpin' Bill Carlisle for his brother several years ago. And we'll be back in a few minutes here on Old Town Cleveland.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
And you're listening to WOOPLP, Cleveland, Tennessee. Whoop FM is a broadcasting service of the Traditional Music Resource Center, and we play America's original music.
Check into cash. The cash you need today is waiting for you at Check into Cash. It's your money, so come in and get it.
Get a payday advance today for up to $425. At Check into Cash, we make it quick, easy, and confidential.
The cash you need is right here, so stop worrying and stop in to Check into Cash today.
Borrowers often use payday advances over a period of months, which can be expensive. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
If you need a little green, Lending Frog is making deals. He'll lend you cash on any kind of wheels. Borrow just a little, or you can borrow big. Lending Frog is a new financial gig. It's hip to hop into cash. LendingFrog.com is making a splash. Dig it, dig it. Dig it, dig it.
Hey, what'd you say?
I was listening to US 101, and now I'm listening to Guns. Guns are the bomb.
Sure is. We're going to get bombed. Wins? Okay.
I like his radio station. Thank you.
You know what our number is?
Who?
Our call number. You did listen to 100.7.
Yeah.
And now what do you listen to?
You?
What number are we?
It's on my radio station.
It's on your radio? You've got a station too?
Yeah.
What's your number?
I don't know. We'll listen to it. So I'll call you back. Oh, we can get that.
Huh? What?
Songbirds are singing streets of here go. They left one by one as the work here was done. Gone home. They have gone home. Gone home. They have gone home. Life here is lonely since they've gone before. Gone. They have gone home. Gone. They have gone home. The old weeping willow that stands by the door sadly sighs. They have gone home. Gone home. They have gone home. They've joined the heavenly fold. They're walking the streets of here gold. They left one by one as the work here was done. Gone home. They have gone home. Gone. They have gone home. They've joined the heavenly fold. They're walking the streets of here gold. They left one by one as their work here was done. Gone home. They have gone home. Gone home. They have gone home. Where the old town goes. They moved it all north of here in the shopping mall. Where the old town goes. Did my hometown get old or just me? Did all my friends get old or just me? Are they all gonna have to be told or just me?
Welcome back to Old Town Cleveland here on Whoop FM 99.9. It's got deep in here. Hold your watches up.
Hey,
Too
if
late for
somebody-
the shoes.
If somebody paid me $20, I'll tell you everything that was said and done during that break.
No. We'll pay 20 not to say it.
Okay, I wanted to remind everybody that the car show is going on in downtown Cleveland today, and it's supposed to crank up at 1, but I guarantee you they've already got the
There are cars
roads.
up there.
There's cars everywhere down there now. Fence Post and Fireflies is a spring festival that's going on over on New Hope Road. You can hear our good buddy Joel Beaver play from 1 to 2, and there's lots of activities going on there right now. Tour of homes in downtown Cleveland, 400. You go to 450 Centenary Avenue, pay just $5, and get to tour all of the homes that are open. Also, Chalk the Walk's going on today. I think probably up close to Raider Drive on the Greenway. For a small fee, you get to draw on the sidewalk, and I believe
It'd be better than my granddaughter's drawing on our front porch.
Oh, yeah. Then we step on it and we track it into the house.
Well-
So there's a nice, pretty color going down
We
our
got
hallway.
another special guest here, Marvin the Martian's here. Tell us what the numbers are to call us.
You Earthlings can call us at 614-5553 or at 423-2614-5553 if you are out of the area.
Or on another planet. All right. Thank you, Marvin the Martian.
Talent didn't know it. We didn't know it, but you know,
You guys played at Riverbend.
we sure did.
What
yeah.
year was that?
Long
in
time
a
ago.
land far away.
80s, 90s.
It would have been around 93, 94.
We found out. We played before the fireworks, and then immediately after the fireworks, we played. As the fireworks ended, we started playing. Well, people were there to see the fireworks. We seen everybody was at Riverbend go by us.
And
When
wave
they
hello.
waved. Now, I don't know how many. They had to listen. We were
Playing
pretty
after
loud.
the fireworks was definitely not the best time to be playing.
You guys remember when we played the Battle of the Bands at Raccoon Mountain?
Sure do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. God. That was a good day. Yeah. We called ourselves the Parking Lot Band because we played for grand openings.
And the bass tournament at...
Oh, the bass tournament was another good one.
I love the bass tournament when that garbage truck...
I had that on film. It was so funny. I was recording you guys, and they were over there at that loop where you could turn around at the back of Harrison Bay and go back in the other direction, and I have the video camera on, and they're just playing away, and all of a sudden this garbage truck just drives between me and them.
Grabs one of the dumpsters and goes bam, 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 and then it pulls off, and we're sitting there going, and the people are just dying laughing on the other side. It pulled right between us
and the audience.
The Old Town Cleveland song that we play every week is called Old Town, and that was written by John Cook, and Jeff and I play on that song, and that's been our theme song this will be 8 years we've been doing this program, and we've always used John's song there. We appreciate John doing that. And we want to play a song that off the very first album. We'll dedicate this to Bob Gill, who hates this song. I don't know, he just don't like this song, but we're going to play it anyway. It played in Rockingham, North Carolina for a long time. It's about, it's about...
Played at the racetrack there, didn't it?
NASCARs, and it's about drinking and wrestling. All those things that you can't do and listen to them old hard rock tunes.
We had a radio station call us from Rockingham, and it's live on there with them.
Yeah, we sure did. And it's number on that tape there. It is, we're in the
Number 3.
Number 3. It's called Hard Rock Tunes. And this is Terry Hunt. And I think I helped a little bit on this one, but Terry wrote the music on it, and you'll hear Tony and I sing the backup on this one, I believe. So here it is.
1, 2, 3. You can't love NASCAR racing and championship wrestling too. Oh, you can't love Darrell Walton and listen to those hard rock tunes. The South we love pretty women, and old Petty Boy don't he drive smooth. Well, you can't hear that hard rock music, boys, now it's Silk Jack Daniels too. Well, we like our beer real cold here, from a bottle with the big long neck. If you listen to that hard rock music, boys, now you ain't playing with a full deck. Well, you can't love NASCAR racing and championship wrestling too. Oh, you can't love Darrell Walton and listen to those hard rock tunes. My favorite verse. The folks down in Mississippi, they arrested my old buddy George Jones. All them folks down there must be crazy from listening to those hard rock songs. Now wrestling, racing, and winning, where the South's fun really begins. So save your Confederate money, boys, cause the South's gonna rise again. Well, way down yonder in the land of cotton, old times there are not forgot. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Now you can't love NASCAR racing and championship wrestling too. Oh, you can't love Darrell Walton and listen to those hard rock tunes. Now wrestling, racing, and women, where the South's fun really begins. So save your Confederate money, boys, 'cause the South's gonna rise again.
That's Terry Hunt. Woo! That's fun. That was for Bob Gill. Bob does not like that song. I don't know why. But if he's listening, he will probably call and tell us he hates that song. But say hello to my granddaughters who came in, Avery and Harper. Avery's 5, and Harper just turned 2 yesterday. So she's 2 going on 100. But she's in charge, 2 and in charge.
Hey, what's that number they can call if they want to talk?
Tell us.
In what voice? Who are you speaking? Who are you speaking
What else
to?
can you do?
I don't know how. I could try Russian. I don't know.
That'd be fitting.
You know, it's the side of the accent just left my mind the second I said that. I'm like, I'm digging myself a hole. Doggone it, I can't think of anything. All right, well, you can call us here at 614-5553 or just add 423 to the beginning of 614-5553 if you're out of the area. So, yeah, there we go.
If you ever heard us play at the Primitive Settlement or any place, Jeff wants to talk about, we played a show in Jackson, Tennessee for Gary Morris. We opened up for him at the fairgrounds. So, Jeff, take it.
That was a wonderful show, but I don't know if you remember all of it, but I think it was about an hour and a half before the show, Gary comes out of the bus and walks out on the stage and proceeds to tell his crew that they have the entire wrong speaker set up.
He threw a
for
fit.
this outdoor show. I mean, stomping around, leaves the stage, so their whole crew's panicking. Hour and a half or so left of the show's supposed to start.
Who
They
come
gotta
to the
take-
rescue, though?
Of course. Our road crew come to the rescue.
Our crew came to the rescue.
Had to help them take their whole sound system off the stage, put it back on their 18-wheeler, get another one off another 18-wheeler, out and set it up before the show. So, of course, the time the show rolls around, everybody's wore out.
They liked us. We were tired.
Well,
then they said it's time to open up. And I said, man, I can't even breathe.
Well, we played our opening set. And I think Dolores Haney had went out with us and sang some backup. We were doing some, I forgot what song we were doing that she went out and sang with us. And
then a tornado touched down at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, as Gary got into his 5th song, the bottom fell out of it, and that was the end of the concert.
As we were pulling out.
But Gary was really nice. We went up on the bus and talked to Gary, and he was extremely nice about it. But that was pretty interesting. And we played.
We got some free shirts and sets
free
or
shirts.
something out of helping them move all that equipment.
Yeah, yes, but it was enjoyment watching a professional crew at work when they've been chewed out. But
it's pretty impressive, though, to have a couple different 18-wheelers there, and one has the wrong sound system on it.
Yeah,
that's 2 18-wheelers full of sound systems.
That was
made our little U-Haul look kind of puny.
And the duct tape.
Should have just said
our U-Haul. We never did replace that door latch, did we?
I don't know.
Well, there wasn't no point. Duct tape was cheaper.
It was, really. It worked better than the door handle. We played at the Primitive Settlement a whole lot.
Several years or maybe more.
You know, it was a good venue, and we got to play a lot of tunes and things there. And we got a caller here.
Do-si-do.
Caller, you were live on Old Town Cleveland.
This is T. Bandy.
Hey, T. Bandy, how are you?
Hey, T.
No, man.
Well,
I'm just sitting here listening to the old days. You all remember when you started the settlement to play one night, and I turned in out there to the lake, and all the equipment like went in the lake.
Oh, is that when the trailer come loose?
Bent my truck door. Now, I got a fish truck coming the 20th of next month of May.
All right, and if they want to order fish, what number do they call you at?
478-2405.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the program. Bring back the old days.
Well, we're getting ready to talk about you here just now.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Y'all have a nice day.
All right, T.
Thanks, Steve.
If you need to buy any fish from T, just call 1-800-CARP.
You know what the name of the place where it gets it from? The Arkansas Pond Stalkers. Now, wouldn't that be a great name for a bluegrass band? Arkansas Pond Stalkers. Think about that.
I am.
That could be the name of our next album.
I'm through thinking about it. Let's move on.
Well, we played the Primitive Settlement, and T would get out there and clog, and we played several sets. And then, what did we have to do every time we played the Primitive Settlement?
Square dance.
We had to do a square dance. And
It was a long square dance.
What we play?
Do-si-do.
Yeah. And
I got married once during the square dance. I got divorced once during the square dance. I'm pretty sure.
I think, was it just once or?
Well, maybe in the same square dance.
Well, but yeah, we had, they had pretty good crowds out there, and we would play the square dance. We used to play Wildwood Flower over and over and over and over. And I'll remember Terry and Tony's big song. They had one big song that
Terry and Tony's big song.
Terry and Tony's big song.
Tell us about it.
The Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Tony played the keyboard and Terry sung it, and the rest of us went and took a break and got a hot dog or something.
Barbecue sandwich.
Barbecue
They had
sandwich.
Good barbecue sandwich.
That's true.
That was Tony and Terry's big song, you know.
I like the Rose. It's a good tune.
Yeah.
And we did it good. Especially since we weren't playing on it.
Right. That's what, and you guys had left, and later on, the movie Ghostbusters come out. We actually bought some Ghostbuster shirts and learned the song and played it at the Primitive Settlement, and John and I danced during it.
That was during our Broadway
I'm glad I'd
days.
left.
During our Broadway days. A lot of good ideas just need to remain that. Good ideas.
Yep. But let's get on a serious note for just a second, then we'll forget about it.
Holy cow.
We practiced hard.
We did.
We worked hard on our music. And back in the days when when we first got together and doing all of our stuff, I would put us up against any band. Really and truly.
We did good.
We worked hard at it.
And one of the reasons I gained so much weight was because Carol would cook these big meals right after we got through
I
practicing.
love practicing out Terry's house.
Oh.
Practice hard, work hard, get the music down, eat a good meal, and then on the floor to play about 2 hours worth of that doggone Atari game, Kaboom. I still hear those bombs dropping.
I love that game, Kaboom.
Terry was good at it too. Boy, I started going.
I wanted to be, but I kept getting myself blowed up. That was the whole idea, not to get blowed up.
One time, Terry, John, Dennis, and I were all associated with the sheriff's department. And Tony's the only one. We arrested him quite often, but that's him and his tie to us. But we were in, and sometimes it affected where people would want us to play because like the bars really didn't want to play and have 4 deputies in there during the bar. Well, I don't know what was going on in those bars because they never let us in,
We always had to promise them we wouldn't arrest nobody and that we would drink.
Well, we played some, and if Rusty's still listening, this is for Rusty and for Jeff. We were down in, what was the red, not the Red Bar, what was the thing down in Cohutta, in a chicken house?
I know. Red Clay
Chicken
Opry or...
It was an old...
I know what you're
And so we were going in there, and so John and I stand at the front of the stage, and we're working, getting ready.
We're tuning up.
And stuff like that. And these 2 little high school-like girls come over and flipping their hair and said, "You got any cute guys in your band?" And looked at John, and we pointed at Jeff and Russ and said, "Oh, yeah," and they walked off. And John looked at him and says, "Did your mother have any children that lived?"
Went right over their
I
head.
said, "Were there any cute guys in the band?" I'm going, "Well, why were they asking? They could see." Right there. But no, we pointed, and oh, yeah, they do, And I think Jeff and Rusty sort of both single at the time, and we should point out.
16, 17. 16.
Probably 16.
And they sort of competed for the girls. And Jeff always reminded the girls he played drums.
That was his pickup line. I play drums. Say it, Jeff. Just one time for all the girls out there.
I play the drums.
Sounds like a lot of practice.
How'd that work for you, buddy?
Oh, well.
He ain't telling. I wouldn't either.
No. This is a G-rated show.
All right, you want to play? What song did you want to play? Having a good old Tennessee time.
Yeah, the Forster Sisters show that we did.
Having a good old Tennessee time.
I thought you were all going to die that night with that storm that rolled in.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all were standing up on stage
made
with all
a good
that equipment.
backdrop of that lightning
We
behind
have played
us.
more places where tornadoes come in and bad weather. That's what you get for playing outdoors.
We played a
lot.
rally somewhere, and when we got done, the old piano, you already left, and the piano was full of water.
The cool part about the Forster Sisters show was they had just gotten new buses, and they hadn't had their names put on them yet, but they were beautiful buses. They had this Western design on them, but didn't have their names. And after we finished our set, we opened up. We were standing out behind the stage looking at the buses. And this group of people walked up and said, wow, I said, y'all were really good. Are these your buses? And I looked around at it and said, why, yeah, they are.
I got it. We're going to play a song here called Having a Good Old Tennessee Time, and I think this is introduced by our fine mayor.
Dolores Haney.
Yep.
Singing on it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, put your hands together and make welcome the fantastic Tennessee Tea. Here they are.
All right, folks. Hey, you're listening to Whoop FM 99.9, or you can go to the internet at www.whoopfm.com. You can call us here at 614-5553, like this caller.
All right. Speaking of which, caller, you were live on Old Town Cleveland. Hello.
Hello.
Are you there?
Hello.
Somewhere out there.
I enjoyed that.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah, they
pretend like you're a phone caller.
They couldn't talk after that dance I did.
Maybe that's why they were calling in.
Call back again.
They
here.
were on the line and they dropped.
Like a light. They're still there.
Can we get that caller ID, send an ambulance to...
I cannot believe you mooned the entire planet.
Why not?
That was a lot of movement.
John, let's play the song number 13 here on our list called A Little Bit Older. This is off our brand new album that John and I did called The Fat Cats. And this is sort of fitting for all of us.
Well,
we're a little bit older than we used to be.
When Ron called up and said, you know, we ought to do something, I thought, you know, let's just let's write on new material and make it kind of age appropriate. So I sort of dug back, thinking about everybody when I put this song together. But
all right, let's get this caller. Caller, you're live on Old Town Cleveland.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to my buddy and my sister.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hey, now this Jeff Cook over here, he's always got something to drink, so you want him to come over and see you?
No, I don't think hardly today. I just
That's the same thing the last girl said.
I just want to tell the guys that they're doing a super job, and that first song was just great.
Well, thank you. I think we
But I want John to write a song about that little chicken.
That little chicken that he killed with the rice, okay?
I didn't kill it. Uncle Ben's did.
Uncle Ben, I didn't do it. Uncle Ben's did it. Yep.
Ben's instant rice.
I mean, I got a kick out of that one. You know, he had told it twice, but I couldn't keep from laughing.
Oh, well.
He needs to write a little song about that. I think that would make everything.
You know, it's hard to beat good dead chicken humor.
Yeah, but just think it was live before you did that.
I try not to think about that. I get sad and cry when
we'll call it Chirp the Dead Easter Chicken.
It's definitely cuter when it had legs and eyes.
Well, Ross, I want to ask you something about that guy that wrote that song up in Copper Hill. Did they give you an address or anything?
Oh, Stan Beaver lives out off Spring Place Road here in Cleveland.
Who?
Stan Beavers. Beaver. It's not. Don't have an S on it. Stan Beaver.
Is he out here on the Spring Place Road?
You're right off Spring Place Road, right?
I think Mill Creek. He lives there in Mills Creek subdivision.
He lives next door to your sister out there.
That's why I know his address.
And he's in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. He's in there with Carl Perkins and several other people. But he's from Polk County originally, from Copper Hill, and lives here in Cleveland now. And his son's playing today out where, Deb?
At the Fence Post and Fireflies out on New Hope Road.
So yeah, Joel plays around.
Now, come again with that.
Well, the fellow that you're talking about, his son is playing live today at a craft show out on New Hope Road. But we need to get them back on here, Ron, and let them do some live picking and singing.
Stan and Joel.
I just want that CD of him.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll make you one here as soon as I can.
Oh, okay.
It costs you a shot of Jack Daniels.
Okay. I'll send you a CD down there because I got plenty of them.
Okay. All right.
All righty. Thank you, dear.
All right, Joe.
Okay.
Have a good week.
Try to
Bye-bye.
stay sober the rest of the weekend.
Okay, I'll try it. My best.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We have to play Just a Swingin' for her every week.
The things that interest me the
we
most.
got another caller, Ron.
Caller, you were live on Old Town Cleveland.
Now try it.
I was wondering if you boys ever played at the Moon Glow or the
Moon Glow. No, that's before their time.
Blue Goose.
No, those were before our time, and remember we were all worked for the sheriff's department, and they wouldn't let us in the Moon Glow.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were all deputies there.
We went in a few times, but
Yeah, but-
usually we broke down the door.
We stopped a few things at the Moon Glows. Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of deputies in there years ago.
Well, now,
Who were they?
Philip, you've probably seen a lot of things that we can't repeat. I want to know what's in that box.
I can't tell you.
No, he can't tell you.
That's a long story there, too.
There you go. But anyway, I was making a little, so.
But now they did play a few places that they wish they had some chicken wire in front of them.
Oh, wow. We played a couple places that did have.
On Eagle.
I think you're having a big time, so I'm just going to aggravate you a little. So keep
Well, it's pretty
All right.
deep in here, but
Well,
we're
I'm
having a good time.
I'm gonna
Philip.
try
Thanks
to
for
tell
calling.
these. I'm gonna try to tell these boys about the box there a little later on.
keep eye on them, Debbie.
Hey,
Let's see if
I'm
it-
doing the best I can. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Philip and two of his friends come on one time, and they told the same story about the same incident, but they were three separate stories.
It was so funny.
And we don't know which one of them
They
was
all
lying, or all
witnessed
three of them were lying. The whole story may not have happened, but
It was pretty funny.
I would have brought the Willie. I would have remembered Willie Gregg. Not Willie Gregg. Willie Chase. I probably believe her the most. But the other two were just lying. And Philip.
It was pretty
Philip did lie.
Are we going to play another song, Ron?
We are in a minute. I was trying to think something else. I was going to tell you that, and now I forgot. See, I can't remember. I should have wrote it down, but I probably did. Don't remember where I put it. Oh, we're going to play a little bit older. This is off John and I's brand new album called Fat Cat. It's flying off the shelf. Every time there's an earthquake, they fall right out, so they hadn't moved a lot. I think we've sold 7 now. Is that right?
Cat knocked a couple out.
We've got 7, and we've got 14 more to go before we break even. And it'd be the first project we ever had that ever broke even, I have to admit. So we're going to play a song called A Little Bit Older and dedicate this to the guys here in the band. Get ready to call us at 614-5553 right at the end of this song.
Still in the truth, except when
Yeah, we're getting a little bit older. That song was real loud. You notice that. Yeah, you guys, well, we know John still picks. Any of the rest of you still doing any picking?
Yeah, I do. I pretty much do all gospel songs now, Southern gospel things. I still play at church, and occasionally I play other places, but I'm basically Southern gospel right now.
So you writing any songs or just?
Well, I've wrote a few that it's a whole different ball game, when you change the types of music you play, whatever. So, I've wrote some, but I'm not really pleased with what I've wrote yet. So, anyways, I'm still working, still in progress.
That's the main thing.
What about you, Tony? You do any picking?
Yeah, still picking, playing at Clinging Ridge and playing at Victory Church of God some. So, yeah, still picking, but just mostly Christian stuff now. So.
Okay. Jeff?
Sorry? Nowhere near enough. I need to get over at John's and play some more.
Right. What I've noticed about our callers today, except for Joe, they've all been men. Where's all the hordes of women that just followed us everywhere?
Yeah,
I didn't say.
I know
hordes of women. I didn't say what they were. Now.
I have a theory. All those women, those thousands and thousands. It's been 35 or more years. Surely they've all gotten married. They've got husbands now.
Have hearing
Last
aids.
thing you want to do is make your husband jealous by calling in and talking about how much.
Most of them's in nursing homes.
Well, we wasn't talking about those.
Or we've outlived them.
Yeah. Guys, one thing that I remember is the first time I heard y'all on the radio. We'd listen to you play live and stuff, and it was just like in that.
I believe
that,
in you. That was the song.
That thing, the movie, that thing you do the first time they heard themselves and they got so excited. But it was a real exciting time. And then, you guys did a lot of interviews with down in Louisiana. And
Slidell,
Louisiana.
Y'all were number one in Slidell.
We told them we ain't got a thing on us at WKLA.
We were the song "I Believe in You," which was the first 45 first single we cut. It was the pick hit of the week for 3 weeks running in Slidell, Louisiana.
And then
the guy called us up, and then someplace in Alaska,
Wrangell,
Alaska.
The B-side was the big hit down there. It's called "Down by the Lake."
Yeah. Was that the B-side?
That was the B-side of that, Down by the Lake. And
Wrangell,
it was real big because
Alaska.
the nights were real long there in Alaska. There was nothing else to do with it.
Well, they
cold.
were really cold when they heard it.
Yeah. So they enjoyed that. But
So 3 people lived in Slidell, too.
That's right.
I Believe in You, the first royalty check I ever got. Man, I was thrilled. It's $1.46 from BMI. I never cashed it. And now I've lost it. I should have cashed. Yes.
Well, now, John and I did. We have a little publishing company, and we published a song and that we helped record. I think no, Jeff didn't play. We had Mike Childers play drum on that one. He was big star now, won the Idol, and she's a big country star now. Who are we talking about?
Underwood.
Yeah. He plays drums for her now, so he was a pretty good drummer. So
Now, Jeff played on the live version that we did of it.
Yes.
I think's on this. But,
well, I think we played it in D.C. too. I think she played there a couple of songs with us. So, so I just noticed that all those women haven't called in, and they're probably
they're married. They're either married, dead, or in the
well,
home.
if they're driving in their car, they probably switched it off because they didn't want to get those feelings started back. Or
Plus, it's against the law to call while you're driving in the car.
Oh, is that it?
We got a lot of things working against the females here this morning.
Yeah.
But, think of it, heck, our wives ain't even called, so. If that says anything, I don't know. Does it say anything to you, Terry?
Probably not listening.
Mine's been emailing me. She's been listening, so
Carol's been telling him what to say.
She has.
He has to have help.
I just want to know if she's cooking.
Deb hands me notes.
Man, we had some good meals after practice.
Well, now, I got to ask Morgan something. Morgan here has worked with us. Had you ever heard of Tennessee Tea and all these great songs we played?
Heard stuff. Yeah. The first time I heard of him was from you, actually, one of the shows. So, not before I joined Whoop, no.
Yeah, that's
if I'm honest.
That's Ron's famous pickup line. I play in a band.
No, that's too close to his.
I tell
Here,
you.
pick up this amp for me.
So you got Debbie playing a band.
Say that again about the drums.
Fickle.
I play the drums.
Dang, if I was a girl, I'd want to go out with you.
How'd that work for you?
We'll just leave it at no comment. And the white shoes.
Yeah, that's.
White leather shoes.
Let me tell you now, Jeff was a performer when he back on the drum. He wasn't one of these drums that just sit there and just sort of tink, 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 tink. No, he's swinging them arms and twirling sticks and
Throwing sticks at you.
yeah, being the head with sticks and.
Where was we playing the night that everything got really, really lively? Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
And we turned around and looked, and Dennis had his shirt off.
Oh, Lord.
He was back there trying to.
He was going all AC/DC.
Anyway, caller, you were live on Old Town Cleveland. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, it's Carol.
Hey, Carol, how you doing?
It's a woman.
I'm not doing no cooking,
Oh, no.
but y'all was the number one sexy bed in all the women, and they're all happily married now.
Oh, yeah.
I told you that was the problem.
Well, you know what it is? You know, they seen us and they got the next best thing they could after us.
Well,
You know, and they all got married.
Pound for pound, we were the biggest band around.
Still are.
Yeah.
But y'all were good guys, and I hope that you enjoy the meal.
Well, we enjoyed. You cooked some good meals. I tell you, she could cook now. Now do you have to do diet food for Terry?
That's why I always showed up on time.
She don't cook anymore.
Oh, okay.
Terry does the cooking now.
I do all the cooking.
Oh, hey, that's a good country song, there, isn't it?
It is.
She don't cook
I do.
anymore.
No, I do all the cooking. I kind of like it.
I miss y'all.
Hey, we miss you too. All right. Thanks, Carol.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I was going to say something. I forgot what it was again.
Was it interesting or witty?
I don't know. Oh, I know one thing. You know, you've heard of wardrobe malfunctions. I had one of those one night at the Primitive Settlement.
Duct tape.
Duct tape.
Yeah. I had on those black pants we all wore, and my zipper exploded. And the show's got to go on. So I took
Exploded's a little stretch.
it coming fastened. Anyway, I took duct tape from the front of me around to the back and just basically taped my crotch shut.
It looked good. It's kind of like a Duran Duran type thing.
Yeah, same as it ever was. No,
I thought it was a new fashion.
it was. It didn't catch on. I tried to sell it, you know, but it didn't.
But the silver duct tape did go with the black pants.
Yeah, it did. It was
That was
You know, I'd
fashion
kind of
stuff.
like to hear the song that we opened up at JC's convention with.
What was that?
TNT.
TNT.
You were there.
He didn't write it. He didn't write it down.
I was.
John, he
I
didn't
really
write it down. He
enjoyed
don't
that.
remember.
Probably 7 or 8 years ago, John and Ron decided they'd get together and they'd play a little bit, and our kids came over and John's kids came over, and Ron would say, let's play so-and-so. And they'd sit there and they'd stare at each other. If either one of them could remember the first word or the first note, then they could play the whole song. We started calling it the Geritol Tour.
Yep.
It's that, you know, I guess at this age, you know, memory cells are dying out by the thousands, and skin cells dying out, brain cells die out. Those fat cells, though, those suckers, they hang on forever.
You know, that thing, you know, and Tony and I and Terry's got more problems than you do, John, and Jeff still got all his hair. But it stopped growing on the top of our head, and it's coming out our ears now. Why is that?
This is natural curly stuff right here.
My
buddy.
wife complains every time she cuts my hair about the hair in my ears.
Yeah, I know. I'm going. It's just.
I don't even blow dry this. I wash it, shake my head once, and this is it.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
What color is it?
It
now?
shows.
What color is it now? You was talking about this the other
It's
day.
got a little pepper.
You said
coming
it had a
in.
couple strands of silver in it.
It's 80-20.
Which one?
80 gray,
It's 80-20.
80 solid.
Headed towards 70-30.
Save us.
And Jeff still got this dark hair, and of course he's not 50 yet.
There's a little
But,
gray in
but
there.
see, y'all have got the hair. I have none.
Yeah, I've got some.
I wasn't going to point that out.
I've still got all my hair. It's in a jar at home, but I've still got all of it. But Terry and I used to have, both of us had this flaming red hair too. So that was it. So we're gonna play the song called TNT, and this is a little explosive song, but
Wasn't the one where you lost your zipper, was it?
no, not this time. Well, guys, we over the years, I know my diet's come up and down. I've lost about 1,000 pounds in my life. I've gained 1,300 though, so that's the problem I have. But John, we're real proud of John. John joined the health spa now.
I have.
And how much you lost so far?
$748.
We have been telling that joke for about 100 years now, and he's never lost the same amount.
Well, I know things go up.
We used to sing that song by David Allan Coe. Said, "I was drunk today. My mama got out of prison," and John says, "I know his mama."
True story.
Well, guys, hey, we've been here nearly 2 hours. Jeff, you got any final things you want to say? Go ahead and say it.
Play drums.
I play the drums.
Well, you got anything else you want to say?
Reach
No,
down deep
I
inside.
really enjoyed all those years of playing. I'm kind of like Rusty. I like the studio part as much as the live show.
I tell you, playing in the studio a lot, we learned a lot about music and worked with some great musicians like Mike Childers and
Jelly Roll Johnson,
Ken Holmes, and of course Donnie Jenkins and Thumbs Carlisle. Jackie Bryson. A lot of those guys come through, and we picked with them and learned a lot about harmonies and picking. Loris Haney. We done a lot of
Michael. What's the banjo player?
Michael Walker. We played a song for him. We played. I forgot what we played for, and they played it on the New Mickey Mouse Club. He was on there, and we played the track that he played on there.
You didn't do that dance on the Mickey Mouse Club, did you?
No. Okay. So, Jeff, John, you got anything final you want to say?
I'm just sitting here thinking, you said 2 hours has flown by. Heck, 35 years it's flown by. It doesn't seem like yesterday that we were all on stage. Some of my best memories have got to be from down at the Primitive Settlement. It was a good, except for the no kissing rule. That cut me out of a lot of action, I got to tell you.
I never really knew they had that rule.
But, you could eat your hot dog back there. You just couldn't do no
kissing rule. That was the rule, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it's been a great time. Music's been part of my life since I was 10 years old. I started playing guitar. And of course, my brothers and I, my brother David and Alan, was my first group, Southern Rock Express. We cut our first record, 45, when we were, I guess I was 15, 16 years old. So, a lot of years, a lot of music.
Tony, you got anything?
Yeah, I just want to say, hey guys, it was a privilege to play with y'all back then when we all played together. It was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but hey, we enjoyed it and had a good time together. But I'd like to say happy anniversary to my wife. It's 30 years we'll be married, 25th. So
condolences.
Well, my anniversary was Thursday. It's 41 years. I'd like to say, again, like Tony was saying and John and everybody else, I really enjoyed the time that we spent together, the hard work we did. And I'd put our group up against anybody. We worked hard. We had fun, but we worked hard, and we took care of business, and all that. And I'd like to say a big shout out. My grandson's been listening to us, Newt Hunt, and my son's been listening to us. So, we know three people's listening.
How old are your sons now?
Brad's 42, or soon be 42. And I don't know how old the other one is, Bill. I really don't. He's
3 or 4 years older, isn't he?
Yeah. He's about 4 or 5 years
I remember when them kids were just little bitty boys, man.
Yeah.
Well,
we got a big fan listening down in Georgia this morning. Cooper. Everybody say hi to Cooper.
Hello, Cooper.
Everybody wave at Cooper.
Well, my two had to come by here. They had to come see Papa talking.
They didn't say anything about autographs, did they?
No. They were got theirs. I'd give them an autograph picture right after they were born.
They were afraid we'd charge for them.
I would give them an album.
I'll add all that. It was picking music was a great time in our lives, and we all we argued, we fussed, we laughed, we cut up, and I'd like to say thanks to Terry, who sort of I'd been an old rock and roller all my life, and sort of got into country music after Terry came along, and I made Made more money, didn't get to keep any of it though. But I played more shows and everything after we became country, and then
we don't know. You was always the treasurer. I don't know if it made him money or not.
Well, you didn't.
Oh, I noticed that. I realized that.
You really didn't.
The plot thickens.
But recording my first recording session in a big time studio was with John and Tony and you and Dennis Bennett and Willis. What was his name? He's dead now.
Otis
Forrest.
No, I'm talking about the guy who our stage manager was. Randy. Randy Forrest. He passed away. Yeah.
Otis Forrest was the
Otis Forrest. Yeah, he was our engineer,
the recording studio,
the sound engineer board.
First album.
And it was a good album. It's over the years, our country changed as country changed around. We were a little bit more pure country back in those days, and then
more pop.
And then
rock.
Now we became a little bit heavier sound as we got older and music changed. So thank you all, and of course I could tell 100 more Jeff stories, but I won't. And but Jeff and John are like my little brothers. I never had any brothers, but these two guys are my brothers, and of course Tony and Terry. And you two guys are related too, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Now, how are you related?
His grandpa and my grandpa were brothers.
That's right. I couldn't remember. I knew you were. So
I thought he was going to say his grandpa and my grandpa shot somebody. That's usually how you got related.
Oh, they could have it, yeah. But thank you, guys. So every week we always tell people it's, today we just had a lot of fun, talked about history, but, there's bands out there, there's softball teams, there are all kind of things that you need to save those stories, because as we pass away, history dies. And so it's up to us. It's contact, I know, John, you and I would love to recorded our mothers, done a video of them.
Got the opportunity to do
and we always said we wanted to play some songs with your mother. I don't know, we never did get actually sit down and
I've
play.
got some recordings where you play bass. Yeah.
Oh, do it? Okay, I was right.
We did two of her original songs.
But, those types of things, you folks out there listening, you need to do that. You need to get your cameras out. You need to record that family. Find those old pictures. Find someone that's still alive and get you some archival ink down at a scrapbook place and write on the back of them who's in those pictures and what it was and dates if you can. Because as we go, folks, history dies, so it's up to you. And Morgan and I always try to say if Morgan gets his part right, always. We'll always remember Pearl Harbor, but
we remember Aunt Pearl.
We'll see you next week here on Old Town Cleveland. And it's been Tennessee Tea, almost live.
Hello. I'm the doctor.
And you're listening to WOOPLP, Cleveland, Tennessee. Whoop FM is a broadcasting service of the Traditional Music Resource Center, and we play America's original music.
There's a little girl in our neighborhood. Her name is Charlotte Johnson, and she's really looking good. I had to go and see her, so I called her on the phone. I walked over to her house, and this was going on. Her brother was on the sofa, eating chocolate pie. My mama was in the kitchen, cutting chicken up to fry. Daddy was in the backyard, rolling up a garden hose. I was on the porch with Charlotte.